Police say the suspect bound people inside. Tonight, there are still unanswered questions about the man's alleged motives. It's not often that a police chief has to console restaurant workers, but after this ordeal, you'll understand why. Just before 8 Sunday morning, officers responding to a holdup call at this KFC on Bardstown Road arrived to find the window next to the drive-thru broken. Peering inside, they noticed something else.
People in the store had been bound and were on the floor. They saw a person who they believed to be the suspect wearing a bandana.
Officers immediately called for the SWAT team and hostage negotiators, but before they could get there, the suspect took off with a hostage, who later managed to escape.
We don't know whether the hostage freed themselves or he let them go.
Minutes later, officers found the suspect pointing a gun at his own head. Then he took off again. Continuing the chase, officers ran through the Mattingly's yard. Hazel and her husband Bob were getting ready to go to the grocery.
I had just opened the back door, and one of them hollered, don't come out, shut the door.
She complied, saying officers tried to scale her privacy fence, but then took off down the road. She later heard gunshots.
I heard the gunshots and things like that, and seen people running, and that's it.
The suspect fired shots at our officers. One officer returned fire, and at least preliminarily it looks as if that officer shot and killed the suspect.
An officer at the scene could later be seen putting away what appeared to be a shotgun as investigators combed over the area.
How's that make you feel?
Not good. Not this close to home.
With the motive for the botched robbery unclear, the shooting afterwards rattled nerves and neighbors like Hazel and her husband.
Well, it's just scary. The kids have all told me to keep my doors locked, and I don't do it. But I bet you I do from now on.
The officer's name is not being released at this time. He will be placed on administrative duty. The department's public integrity unit is investigating the shooting. A spokesman for KFC's corporate office released this statement to WDRB saying, quote, "We're very thankful that our employees are safe, as that is our top priority." As meteorologist Jeremy Capel tells us, we may be dealing with thunderstorms this week. Jeremy?
We do. We will have another round of heavy rain.
Police will pay their final respects to a police dog killed in the line of duty tomorrow. Kilo, a German Shepherd, was shot and killed on June 24th while searching for an armed suspect. It took place during a standoff in Sellersburg, Indiana. A private memorial service for Kilo is scheduled for Monday afternoon at the Northside Christian Church in New Albany. Law enforcement, along with friends and family members of Kilo's handler, Trooper Nathan Abbott, are invited to attend. It is not open to the public. Meanwhile, suspect Joshua Pretty faces 18 felony charges, including 7 counts of attempted murder and 1 count of killing a law enforcement animal. Steve Andrus joining us now with an early look at sports, and 2 U of L players were on the court overseas today for Team USA. WDRB's Kelly Davis tells us how a local artist enhanced the experience by turning his love for bourbon into a masterpiece. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration reported a malfunction with its satellite in May. It's the second time this satellite GOES 13 malfunctioned. The 7-year-old satellite also malfunctioned before Superstorm Sandy hit the Northeast last fall. Engineer Stacy Boland monitors the condition of the satellites and says the U.S. government needs to act fast.
Definitely encountering basically a near perfect storm here. We have shrinking budgets, we have rising launch vehicle costs. They've had 2 recent launch vehicle failures for Earth science missions. And when you put all of that together, you know, there's just no way to launch things at anything like the rate it would take to replace the observations that are being lost. A replacement satellite that would provide the most complete forecasts is not likely to be launched for 4 years. Scientists estimate nearly $1 trillion of our economy depends on accurate forecasts. So there you go. It's a lot more important than just whether you need sunglasses or an umbrella. Well, our viewers showed their support for a child with a rare form of cancer.
Will I bury my child someday? I mean, that's a constant fear.
As WDRB's Emily Muir tells us, the cancellation is impacting more than just race fans. Emily?
That, my friends, is not bad for the middle of July.
Not too shabby at all. Thanks so much, Jeremy. A San Francisco coroner says one of the 16-year-old girls killed in yesterday's plane crash in San Francisco may have been run over by a rescue vehicle. Several days after Egypt's president is ousted, the country's ambassador to the U.S. is denying that it's a military action.
Egypt has not undergone a military coup, and it is certainly not run by the military. Today, there is an interim president in place.
This is not a coup.
Absolutely not.
Meanwhile, riots and violence are breaking out in the streets of Egypt. Many are celebrating the ouster of Mohamed Morsi, saying he did not act in the best interests of the people. The Muslim Brotherhood is protesting the move and demanding Morsi's reinstatement. At least 36 people have been killed and 1,000 injured in the violence, and the Muslim Brotherhood is calling for more rallies. Having trouble remembering phone numbers and appointments? Why, a new study says you might have a case of digital dementia.